Right. So, there comes a time in a guy's life where he thinks he can do better than the woman he's with. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that should be tested. And so does this guy. So I have a story of a guy who did something crazy.
Okay.
I'm going to read it. Attention men. If you're feeling like you can do better than your girlfriend, create a Tinder profile with her pictures and see how many other men would be stoked to be in your shoes. I did it as a joke, and my girlfriend had 1,300 likes in an hour.
Damn.
I'm about to run her a bath, cook dinner, fold the laundry, and rub her feet. Y'all tripping. I'm one man. I can't compete with 1,300 dudes trying to clap my girl's cheeks. Update. She's at 1865 now. I'm going to paint her toenails and buy her a pony.
How much time in between those two?
He doesn't say, but he has 2 more updates. Next update, 2,252 likes. Anyone have connections to purchase a baby cow? I don't know what that means.
Wait, what?
Update. I'm going to start matching with them and ask them for $20 each to finance this baby cow situation. I wonder if she asked for a baby cow.
He turned into a scam. That went from an experiment to a scam real quick.
Right.
That's crazy. 1,300 is that good?
In an hour? On Tinder?
Mm-hmm.
I would think so.
That's crazy.
I mean, I've never been on a dating website.
And that means like a local 1,300?
I don't know.
1,300 niggas outside at the moment.
I don't know, but 1,300 matches in an hour, I would think is pretty impressive.
I also think our standards aren't near y'all's. You know, not to say that girl is probably really pretty, but I just feel like just niggas will fuck anything.
I feel like certain men, and I don't know how this works with everyone, but I feel like the comfortability level, some men will have really, really, really beautiful women and still be on some like acting like she's not
right
that girl.
Yeah, especially like the dudes who be like trying to convince them that they ain't that girl to kind of like fuck with their confidence a little bit. Like no one would ever want you but me.
And I think they sometimes
Tinder.
Yeah. But
Tinder.
I think they definitely forget sometimes, like, you're used to her. So you see her every day. You see what she has. You know, you see her titties. You see her ass. You see her coochie. You see everything every day.
You see her coochie. I've seen her coochie already, fellas.
You know, and so then you start to look at other women like they might be better, like the grass is greener because you haven't seen those things, but not realizing.
Sometimes you see that coochie and you're like, ugh.
But not realizing these other 1,300 niggas ain't seen all that.
That was just hour one. I honestly think that even like I don't think you can compete no matter what the dude thinks about himself. I don't think they'll ever get more likes than they chick, you know, especially like that quickly. I don't think that'll happen. So I feel like the dude loses in that scenario every time.
And it's crazy. Like clearly his woman is attractive and he doesn't see it. So he's like, shit, you know, I feel like I can do better. Because that's why his whole, like, that's the whole premise of why he did it. Because he's like, look,
you
if
think
you feel
so?
like, that's what it started out saying. He said, men, if you think you can do better, do this.
Yeah, but that's why he did it?
He said he did it as a joke, but I think he did it on some, like,
You think he did that specifically? Like, I wonder how many niggas want to smash my girl. You think that was like an active thing behind it?
I don't know,
That's
because the
weird.
mindset behind it sounded
a
to
fetish
me
thing.
like he was like not really feeling her as much anymore, and he thinks like, okay, I can go out here and do better than what I have, and to premise it as a joke because it went crazy. You know, her shit went crazy. Now he's like, oh, yeah, I did it as a joke, blah, blah, blah. But I wonder if he really did it on some, like...
Yeah.
You know, because there's
You ain't that cute.
Right. There's skits out there like, oh, you ain't gonna never find another nigga like me. And as soon as she step outside, and they gonna pull up and pick her up. And he's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Hold up. You know?
Right.
So I don't know. I feel like that definitely does exist. And I feel like I've been in that situation before where I was dealing with a guy and I got comfortable. You know? You see, without the wig, you know, without the makeup, you know, you get comfortable. And I've been in a relationship where he wasn't as attracted to me as he was when he just saw me periodically, because he saw the made up version, the version that I present to the world. But when we were just at home, just chilling, no makeup on, blah, 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 you know, he was just on some like, all right.
You wearing that, huh?
Right.
The big granny drawers and shit.
You want me to wear fucking lingerie every day and get made up, and I'm like, damn, like I need somebody who's actually gonna just be attracted to me, be whether chill.
With the chill version.
But then I think once, you know, we broke up and he didn't have that access anymore, it was like, damn, I was tripping, like that wasn't even bad, you know. And now I'm on the outside trying to get back in, and I think that happens a lot. It's like, okay, nigga, well, if I can't be comfortable around you,
I wonder if that happens the opposite way. I mean, I know niggas don't really like put on makeup and stuff, but they definitely do themselves up before they go out. It's probably like with niggas in terms of personality. Like they start letting their real self out, and you just like, God damn, what happened? What happened to the nigga that was making all these promises?
Right? Hot mess. Niggas will turn once
that's our makeup.
Comfortable.
Our makeup, y'all makeup is physical. Our makeup is
mental and hats.
the hat test.
Hatfish.
Have you ever been hatfished?
Yes.
So like, how long can you keep that up though? Like that would only could work on dates.
Right. It was like he had a hat on all the time. And this is not somebody that I was ever intimate with, but I just realized, like, when we were hanging out one time, and I realized, like, I ain't never seen you without your hat.
How many times do you think?
How many times what?
Have you seen him?
Had I seen him? Before I realized he was a hatfish, I saw him maybe a couple of times, maybe 3 times.
Okay.
But, you know, we had internet too, so he had his page or whatever, and I think I saw it on his page.
Every page was a hat?
I was like, whoa.
What? Oh, no, you saw him without a hat?
Without a hat once, and I was like.
What was it? Was it bald? Was it balding?
No, it was the head shape.
Oh, he was Neo-ing you.
So he filled out the hat.
Oh, shit.
So you know how you have on a hat right now, but your head doesn't, you know. Yeah, so your head ends right here.
My head ends?
Yes, your head ends where the hat, let me see the hat. So your head, when you have the hat on, your head might end right here. His head ended at the top of the hat.
Oh, it kept
so when he took
up.
his hat off, it was like.
Nigga looked like someone hit him with a cartoon hammer.
Or the hats that the British soldiers wear.
Oh, damn.
Nigga.
Niggas that be defending the queen.
Yeah, it was a really long head. And instantly, once he took his hat off, I was like, oh, no. Like,
That's
the
crazy.
attraction, the physical attraction went away immediately.
That's crazy.
Immediately. He wasn't a bad guy. He wasn't a mean guy. You know, I think he had a roster, you know, or whatever. But once I wasn't emotionally invested enough to where I was like,
Did he like? Does he?
He knows.
Does he smash with the hat on too?
I don't know. I never smashed.
Do you think he would keep it on?
I would think he would.
Damn.
I would think he would. Just like anybody would, because I believe it was an insecurity of his. So just like anybody that has an insecurity about something, they might, you know, if she has, you know, pimples on her butt, she might wear, like, you know, little crotchless panties or like lace panties with the, open or something like that to cover up,
yeah.
certain things. People might, if you got back knee, you might cosplay or something like that so you can wear outfits to cover that stuff. Because,
Sure.
who wants to, show their insecurities in the most intimate moments? So
I feel that. You had a bunch of pimple examples.
Where
butt knee, butt
I don't know.
pimples,
That's all I
back
can think
pimples.
of is just skin issues. Like I don't know, because when you bend over, shapes kind of
Booty pimples during sex is funny. You're
it's
like,
tough,
damn, what's that? Hopefully those are zits.
So some people, damn, some people might wear socks, because their feet might not be where they want them to be or whatever. So they might wear shoes, heels.
No, I understand the cover up. You want to give 7 more examples? Or socks. What else? The shoes. What else could cover up? Some people might wear a scarf if their neck is messed up. You get what I'm saying? Some people might wear gloves. Their hands. Do you understand me? Yes, give me more examples, please. Please give me like 50 more.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at with it.
All right, let's get into these thick facts. I got an embryo fact.
Embryo.
Yeah, it's a very interesting thing that happened in science.
My fact is about death.
Oh, okay. Mine's kind of about life,
Okay, so should we start with death or life?
Let's start with life. Okay. So, all right. So Emma Gibson was frozen as an embryo in 1992, right?
Mm-hmm.
She was born in 2017 to a mother who was born in 1991.
That is so interesting.
That is trippy. First of all, I didn't know you could freeze them for that long. That's what? 17 plus 8. 25 years?
Yeah, so, yeah.
Okay, so the longest known frozen human embryo to result in a successful birth was born in Tennessee. Emma Wren Gibson, delivered on November 25th, 2017, is the result of an embryo originally frozen on October 4th, 1992. Emma's parents, Tina and Benjamin Gibson of Eastern Tennessee, admit feeling surprised when they were told the exact age of the embryo thawed on March 13th. Do you realize I'm only 25? This embryo and I could have been best friends. Okay, I never thought about it that way. That's kind of
So the
trippy.
embryo is clearly from another person, another woman.
Yeah, she wasn't born yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she got the egg submitted by someone else, and the egg is technically older, but obviously she was born on 2017, so she's not older. But that is trippy.
That's such an interesting
type stuff.
concept. I didn't know. I wonder when people use other eggs, do people donate their eggs?
What do you mean? Yeah.
People donate their eggs.
Don't they get money for it? Yeah. Just like we donate cum. Sperm. Sorry.
Yeah, but eggs I would think are a little different.
I'm sure they're more expensive than us just nutting in a cup.
But I didn't realize people were donating eggs as well. And I wonder what happens to a woman who froze her eggs but passed away before they could be used. Are those then transferred to someone who could use them?
Yeah. Oh, or are they just thrown out?
No.
No one's making payments on these. Yeet.
Yeet is crazy.
I wonder, because she was born in 2017, I wonder if, the baby's, okay, it's 8 now.
Mm-hmm.
So if the baby's just fine and that doesn't have any harm, I think we could maybe freeze alive humans. That always seemed kind of ridiculous to me, but maybe Walt Disney is frozen somewhere.
Ah, Lord. Okay, so going into death. My fact: 151,600 people died every day. That means that in the amount of time it took you to fully read this sentence, approximately about 19 people died.
Damn. Well, like if you read the sentence correctly.
So what, we gotta go 21?
I would say 21 for how you read it.
Wow.
That's crazy. Hey, someone's always having a worse day than you.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, I remember when I grew up, somebody told me that every time somebody died, a baby's born.
Mm-hmm.
You ever was told that?
Mm-hmm.
But I thought it was like instant. Like,
In life, to give life.
right. So your last breath is like your first breath.
What?
Like you die and you're immediately like coming out of a vagina.
Oh, so you believe that as soon as you take your last breath,
That's
that's your soul going into somebody else at that same moment.
That's what I thought as a kid.
Oh.
Because I was told that at the exact moment that you die, a baby's born.
Mm-hmm.
But like that baby's been in the,
been,
being cooked for quite a while. Yeah. Or unless you die, that's the moment that the splooge comes out for a conception. So your soul. Yeah, that doesn't make sense either.
Mm-mm.
I just think as I grew up, I like the idea of there's like a waiting lobby.
Okay.
That's too instant.
It's kind of like Soul.
Yeah.
That's such a good movie.
Yeah, it's a good one, but I hope it's not like that though.
Whereas it's like waiting to go.
Yeah, that way was kind of depressing. I like the Dragon Ball Z DMV way where you're like in line and somebody's like, all right, what do you want to be? An eagle?
Okay. Okay. I mean, it's fun. You're all about fun.
Kind of takes the whole heaven thing out.
It does.
Yeah.
So where does that lie in your theory?
I mean, I hope that there's a big gate and clouds everywhere. That'd be cool. But like, can you imagine how long that line is?
I wouldn't think it would be that long.
Like they're hella efficient.
Either they're hella efficient or not as many people is going up there as we like to
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I think there might be a split.
You take a number at 7, you're like, damn, it's hard to get up here. It's hard to get in this bitch.
Yeah, I had read somewhere something about nurses that said when someone, it was like in a hospice, that said when somebody was pretty much at their like deathbed, that you either smell sulfur or like flowers and roses.
Oh damn! So you know where you going?
So depending, like people would like freak out. The ones that were freaking out were seeing like shadows in the corner and stuff like that. And then
shit. So people think they ready. And they start smelling sulfur. They be like, wait! Don't pull it!
Right, don't pull it, but they're just
a little bit.
And they said the room smelled like sulfur, and then the others that go like peacefully, it smelled like roses and like floral in the room, and I'm like, that's insane.
There's my friend told me there was like someone in his family who died for a little bit and was brought back, and it was. He described it was like pitch black, and he heard, it felt just like evil. It just felt like scary and dark, and he couldn't see anything, but he heard like screaming and like,
oh my God,
torture in the distance. So I think when we think of stuff like fire and hell and stuff like that, it's way more visual than you would think too, because people are like trying to depict it. But the most terrifying version of that is you don't even see anything.
Pitch black. Like the scariest haunted houses
that
we've been in were just pitch black.
So that's the worst version of
noise.
Hell.
Oh my God.
I thought at least it was like demons that were scary looking and fire everywhere and like cool stuff to look at least.
Cool?
But, I mean, if you think about like the art that goes into the depictions of hell, it's like the river Styx and all these like souls and stuff, and it's like, oh my God, this is terrifying, but just pitch black and you don't know.
Chains. Yeah.
And you just do get nothing but the pain and the scariness.
Yeah, that's Did he change his life after that?
I think so. I
would. You're like, brother.
Brought him out of.
Brother better get it together. He better been in church the next day.
Hang on, I was saving this for another one, but it's so on topic. I just want to do it this time.
Go for it. Yeah, that's terrifying.
Somebody said you just passed away and you're allowed to be reborn, but not as a human. What you being?
Something that flies.
You would make sure to be a bird?
Yeah.
Kind of bird.
Some sort of bird. Maybe an eagle.
Is that because I just said eagle earlier?
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
What did you say eagle to?
When I said, like, what I hope the waiting room is, I was like, eagle. Yeah, because that's
I would
definitely be an eagle. Not a bald eagle, though. I would be a golden eagle.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to be an eagle. Actually.
No species. Just the type.
We went over something that said, like, the top 10 birds that fly the highest. What was a vulture at the top? The vulture could fly the highest, huh? So there's probably the ones that get stuck in plane engines and shit, huh?
I would assume, but they probably eat the most because they can deal with the dead carcass.
That might be a vulture.
Vultures are dope. I saw a vulture up close, and I always thought they were ugly. They're really pretty.
Yeah, it might be a vulture.
Someone said a house cat of a childless or empty nest woman you want for nothing. Or a cat owned by a devoted lesbian couple.
Cat's a good one. Yeah.
It's
lesbian cat.
What about a seagull? Would you ever be a seagull?
Mm-mm.
Why not?
They be in people's business.
But they be at the beach. They be eating good stuff that we leave behind.
They not even that we leave behind. Yeah, we could turn around and that motherfucker will creep up and take your shit from you. They take perfectly good food.
A lot of people be saying whales, but I don't want to be a whale. You know that whales like
they be drowning.
They drown, yeah,
no.
And they got to come up for air like every 20 minutes.
No, thank you.
That's crazy.
If I'm gonna live in the sea, I want to be able to breathe underwater.
Divers have more time than that. How we got more time than a whale?
They drown because if they go too far and they can't get back up in time, that's a horrible way to go.
Would you ever want to be a tree?
No.
Like a wise...
That sounds boring.
A wise old willow with a bunch of just seeing generations and generations.
You're here too long.
You don't be thinking trees feel good? It's probably like, yeah, all day.
Just pleasure all day?
It probably
Except when you cut their fucking branches.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to do that. And
you're not supposed to, but it happens.
Right, but if you were just on a hill in the middle of like the wilderness and it was windy, you'd probably be like, oh yeah.
So just tree nut.
Your leaves falling off probably feels good as fuck. You're like,
it's like an itch. No.
And then winter, you just all bald.
Nope. That doesn't sound appealing. I don't like it. I don't want to be it. Nope. I'm not coming back as a tree.
All right. Well, I think it might be kind of nice.
I wonder, is there anything that you can select that has an end? Like, for real.
What do you mean?
Like, if you chose a tree, is that the end of the life cycle? Once that tree dies.
Is that the end of what life cycle?
So we're talking about different, like, reincarnations.
Right.
And I'm saying, like, all of these things, if you come back, you be a bird, the bird dies, you can come back as something else, whatever. I wonder if there's anything that you can select that ends the cycle of reincarnation. Like, if you do decide to pick something in nature, does that end it?
No.
Why?
Just because if you pick a tree, you'd be out the game for a minute. They wouldn't see you for a while. You'd be like, God damn, you was down there for 500 years? And that would suck if you hated it. If you immediately like sprouted up and you're like, this sucks. You got to deal with that for 500 years unless you get cut down.
Are there trees that have been here since the beginning of humans and that are still here?
No.
What do you mean no?
How old do you think a tree can get?
I don't know. As long as if it's in like these forests
what would you guess?
That are like uncontacted, like.
You don't think it would die naturally?
No, I don't think so.
So okay,
like maybe with some type of climate change or whatnot, but like trees in the rainforest, if they're left alone and for nature to do its thing.
Damn. Okay, what do you What do you think the number is? Oldest tree that we know.
I'm going over 1,000 years. Oh,
What?
I don't know. 1,500.
1,500?
Yes.
Okay.
Don't you say 30.
So some species is 30 to 50.
Damn it.
Some species is 100 to 400.
Okay.
Some species can live from 100 to 5,000 to 1,000.
Okay.
And the oldest one is just over 5,000 years old.
5,000
That we know about. So I mean, they've been around
5,000
for a
years.
minute.
Yeah.
How long have we been around?
Look it up.
You don't gotta yell at me. Look it up. You can just say I don't
get
know.
Nothing wrong. I don't want to get no wrong answers.
Look it up. Say I don't know.
No,
it's okay.
we're on a Google. We're on a Google binge
know.
right now.
How long have human existed? 300,000. Okay, so so a little off.
It said 300,000
Humans, Homo sapiens, have existed for approximately 300,000 years.
300,000? Really?
Which is still nothing compared to the billions of years Earth's been around.
300,000?
It says while the first hominins, early human ancestors, emerged around 7 million years ago, modern Homo sapiens emerged 300,000 years ago in Africa. Fossil evidence supports the 300,000 year estimate.
That's a big jump.
It's a big gap.
7 million.
But they're saying
to
human
300?
ancestors.
So with monkeys?
Human, I don't know.
Or is that just like the first
overall
living
trees ain't got
being.
Shit on us? That's what you need to know.
What they trying to
but
say.
imagine like coming back in 5,000 years compared to dying at like 90 something is pretty crazy. So
I feel like there's more research to be done. What if there is a tree that's 300,000 years old? You know, I wouldn't put it past them. I mean, it's not like, you know, they
you don't
were
think it would just
surviving.
naturally die?
Not I don't think so, but it seems like that's kind of like the one thing that in the ocean are the kind of like the two things that are more permanent to me.
Trees?
Here. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know. Between like rotting and not getting enough water or wind, there's a lot of things that just be naturally fucking trees up.
I
right?
feel like they have like but at the
Fires.
same time, well, I'm not taking into account like those type of issues like fires and stuff like that. I'm just thinking about trees in their natural habitat that are not really messed with by us in areas where we're not, you know.
Well, maybe cutting down a tree is you're doing the tree a favor because it was reincarnated as a tree and it's like, I can't do this anymore. So us cutting it down and killing it is like,
just like
a
thank
beautiful
you.
thing.
Now I can go back and be a car.
Because imagine like being like, I want to be a turtle. And you keep coming back because you know how baby turtles, it's a miracle when they grow up because they got to cross the beach and all these things are killing them. You probably back every 10 minutes. Like, come on, baby turtle again. I'm going to get it this time. And it's like a game respawning and you got to get to the water. And then when you're in the water, something eats you again.
That's crazy. The quick life cycles, like choosing to be an ant or something like that.
Or like a fly.
Mm-hmm.
You just in and out, you get to experience it and be like, oh, that was cool. What else?
Mm-hmm.
That would probably be the most fun version of heaven.
How do you think artificial intelligence is going to play a part in some of this?
I think that we could probably get real life. I mean, we already have some pretty interesting, like, joke simulators. I play a lot of them online. Like, I have Bee Simulator. All you need to do is upgrade that to like VR, and you could probably experience what it's like to be another animal. I would say in the next 10 years.
A bee simulator is crazy.
Yeah, so all you gotta do is make that VR, and that's gonna be exactly like how being a bee is. You literally like fly around, you get pollen. It's not even like a game. It's just literally just doing what bee shit.
I wonder, because you know we just watched Black Mirror. And they have, like, even in past seasons, they have, like, episodes where, you know, they take the soul or / consciousness out and they're able to, like, physically handle a consciousness, which is crazy to me. But I feel like with the way technology advances and having AI the way it is now, I feel like AI is going to start developing some of these things to be able to, extract people's dreams and consciousness
I feel like that's close. Yeah. Dreams.
To where if you take someone's consciousness, I feel like that's a part of the soul. And if you take that and put it in a computer, then does it disrupt the afterlife for you?
Yeah.
Some interesting concepts.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, I feel like I never thought about that, but it's like the whole sell your soul argument.
Mm-hmm. But this one is just like, put your soul in the cloud and, sky's the limit. I mean, well, computer is the limit.
Computer's the limit. That's crazy. All right.
I wonder how that... I'm sure there will be a religion associated with artificial intelligence in the near future.
Artificial Jesus.
What you think his name is really going to be?
Probably Elon. The rate we're going.
Oh, shit. Damn.
All right, you got a thread for us?
I do. Terrifying incidents at theme parks.
Oh.
All right. In 2016, 10-year-old Caleb Schwab was killed on Verrückt, a ride that was known as the world's tallest water slide.
I didn't know you were going to say he was killed.
Schlitterbahn in...
What?
In Kansas City.
In Schlitterbahn?
Schlitterbahn.
Is that the amusement park or the city?
Schlitterbahn. Schlitterbahn in Kansas City. Caleb was reportedly decapitated as he came down the water slide at 70 miles per hour.
70?
The park demolished the ride shortly after.
70? Is that like near the speeds of regular water slides? That sounds like
70 miles per hour.
That sounds insane.
Is insane.
So, I mean, I'm sure he would have gotten decapitated if he wasn't going that fast. What killed him? Was the slide designed to make people go too fast, or was it something hanging too low? That's crazy.
Maybe it was Schlitterbahn. Maybe it was just how he... You know how they tell you to do certain things when you get on a water slide? They'll tell you to like tuck in, lean back, but then you see people that, do different stuff or can't control certain things. Maybe he moved in a way that messed him up. Yeah.
Damn. Well,
he was 10.
10.
Though.
Yeah. R.I.P. I didn't mean to. His name was funny. I laughed before you said he was killed.
Caleb Schwab.
Mm-hmm. Damn, that's crazy.
That's tough. In 1984, Schlitterbahn. In 1984, 8 people died inside the haunted castle at New Jersey Six Flags after a fire broke out. The guests thought the flames were a part of the attraction and got trapped inside. One of the firefighters said they couldn't tell the difference between the prop skeletons and what was real. Can you imagine passing away in a haunted house? That is like the worst because you're supposed to be there for fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing what I can.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to be there to be scared. So can you actually imagine being scared and then dying? Like, that's crazy.
Niggas became the ghosts.
Yes.
They thought the fire was part of the haunted house?
Clearly how many times have we seen them use pyrotechnics
in a haunted house?
As
0.
Well, I don't know. This was in 84. So maybe
they was like, man, this is realistic. It's kind of hot.
Super realistic, but maybe by the time they realized it, like, oh shit, this is not pyrotechnic stuff, it was already too late.
That one, okay. That was hard to get through. That was hard to get through.
That's tough.
The firefighter said you couldn't tell the difference between the skeletons. Nigga, yes, you could. Human burned skeleton and the Party City ones.
Well, think about this. Remember, I don't know what movie it was, where they actually used real skeletons. Remember there's a movie, was
Yeah,
it
it was a film.
Exorcist? It's a film.
This is a
Well,
haunted house in New Jersey.
maybe, maybe you had some grave diggers. I don't know. But
I think he added that for some pizzazz to the story. Man, we
Maybe.
couldn't tell the difference between the skeletons. A burnt human being. All right.
Yeah, that's tough because usually props are like plastic.
That's
and
what I'm
stuff in
saying.
there,
They're
melt.
very plastic looking.
Mm-hmm. In 1991, 15-year-old Kelly Ferguson tried to scare her cousin on Disney World's Haunted Mansion by jumping from one car to another. Instead, she got caught under one of the doom buggies and was in critical condition, but she did survive.
Damn.
So she got caught under.
So she didn't make it to the other car.
No, but she survived. So thank God.
Lack of athleticism. Can't be a daredevil and not
But
have
to
the
be
hops.
a prankster, to try to scare. I mean,
what a
it's
horrible prank.
It's a horrible prank, but I mean, the haunted mansion to me was already scary.
It's racking up bodies.
It was already scary.
That's crazy.
Like you remember seeing? I don't think they're doing it anymore, right? It's done. They had like a Twilight one where there was a ghost that walked past, but it was like that shit looked real as hell.
The mirrors.
Like, was it a mirror?
That's the only ghost stuff I'm thinking of.
That shit looked real as fuck.
So you run a haunted house, right?
Mm-hmm.
You run a haunted house ride. It don't be malfunctioning, but people do crazy stuff like that. People start dying on the ride, right?
Mm-hmm.
Actual haunted activity starts happening. Business picks up.
Mm-hmm.
So now, like, so there's a death every now and then, but them niggas is haunting the place. Actually, business goes up, everything goes up. Do you keep it running or do you shut it down?
No, you keep it running.
So the people killing, people dying makes no difference. You just
Well, the thing is, the people who are dying they're not following the safety protocols of what we have in place. And
but
if they did follow the safety protocols, then everyone would be safe.
That's the dilemma. You're not. It's not your fault. It's not like the ride is killing them, but you're not closing it.
I'm not shutting down. I'm going to create a corrective action plan that includes whatever they're able to do to get out of it. Like, you know how with certain rides, it's just a bar that goes over your lap. Most of the time, you can't even get out of that. Unless you're sitting next to somebody who's significantly larger than you, then maybe your bar is going to be a little looser.
Right.
But so then I would switch it.
You're not going to add no more ghosts.
I don't need to add no more ghosts because the ones that are there are probably doing the job.
But every time you add a ghost, you seeing like 400% or 500% increases in tickets.
Yeah, no. I'm still gonna do my corrective action plan, and we're gonna keep the ones who.
But it's staying
are
open.
there. It's gonna stay open.
Interesting.
But we're just gonna, change it up to where people can't get out or do whatever it is. If we need to add a bar up here, or the ones that go around to where your arms can't even really like move.
If the families didn't care, would you add it to the marketing?
Like,
come on down and
no.
be safe or you'll become one of the ghosts.
No, I don't know. Probably. It all depends because then it's like you have a duty to tell people what happened here.
No, everybody knows.
In
That's
essence,
that's why they come
what
in.
marketing is.
That's why they come in, though.
But I mean, what's the difference between telling them what happened and
the news told them what happened? The news did.
Right, but I'm
the
saying
family lets you put the pictures up and being like, you can lean into it if you want it.
I mean, that's happening already. Like if we go to when we went to San Diego and we went to that hotel. The haunted hotel where we saw the ghost in the mirror.
Them shits be like from the 1800s though.
Yeah, but still, they're using real people and their stories. They're telling their entire lives, and they're using.
But they didn't die at the attraction that you're at right now.
But
That's
they died
the
in the
difference.
hotel.
Right. But your version, or sorry, I guess the version we just made up, is they died doing the ride that you doing. Not this was somebody that died in this building in the blah, 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 1800s. This is like they died doing what you doing right now.
Right. But my thing is.
Money hungry.
No. My thing is we got to tell them. Just like if you buying a house, you got to tell them if somebody died in the damn house. They not going to protest. The people that would protest would be the family. You said the family is okay with it. If the family's okay with it, then why not tell everybody this is what happened. This is who may be here. You may see this person. If you do, don't be alarmed. We told you. I would use it as
a little quick moral dilemma question.
What would you do?
I was the puppet master in that scenario.
No, now you gonna tell me what you would do.
Yeah, I would keep it open.
Yeah, I knew you would.
I would lean into it.
You definitely, I knew you would.
Like, you wanted a haunted house, right? Like a real death here.
Okay, I didn't know about this one, but I've rode this ride plenty of times. Not in Kentucky though. In 2007, a loose cable cut off a 13-year-old girl's feet while she was riding Superman, Tower of Power at Six Flags, Kentucky Kingdom. The cable initially wrapped around her neck.
Whoa.
And though she was able to remove it, it slipped around her feet, detaching them from her body.
Oh, so it didn't even cut them off. It pulled them off.
Detaching? I would think it...
She said it wrapped around her neck, which means it's kind of loose. And then
she must have,
to her foot, and then she shot up.
Yeah, and you know how fast Superman is. So she got it off just in time to save her life, probably.
A cable?
A loose cable.
Nigga got on Superman with feet and got off without feet. That's the one part you don't think nothing would happen. Nigga,
like you stayed in your seat, you did everything you were supposed to do, and you lost your feet.
Got on Superman and got off Professor X. He had feet, though.
I was about to say, I thought he had legs and feet.
Who didn't have feet? Casper. Ghost
Casper
that
just
end in a little swirl at the end.
On June 17th, 1966, 19-year-old Thomas Cleveland was killed while attempting to sneak into Disneyland, California by climbing onto the monorail track. When a security officer shouted, Thomas ran and was struck by the monorail and dragged 30 to 40 feet down the track.
Shit. He snuck over and got on the track?
Yeah. Yep. He was trying to run from the security, though.
That's why that should be shut down all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess Disneyland is a repeat offender.
Disneyland is tough, and it's everywhere. It's not like it's
racking up bodies.
Yeah.
They didn't shut that shit down, so I guess our moral question was they already were part of that. They already were asked that.
Right. So I guess some of the people who know a little bit about these different incidents that we talked about, and one person said, I rode the Varuk shortly before this accident. The belts they used were just Velcro straps, and they weren't very secure. Some were even fraying. The Varuk was the first one, I think. Oh, the world's tallest water slide.
They had Velcro straps?
That's what they said.
I mean, amusement parks, they don't have the most efficient systems. You seen that the video that went viral of that ride that had a huge crack in it, and every time a roller coaster passed, it like bent, and you could see the crack going like opening.
Oh my God, no, that's scary.
It was like, okay, sometimes it's all good till it ain't.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely trust my gut when I think a ride, even if it's like it's 2025 or this is a huge company. Like, no, I think still I won't do carnival rides that aren't permanently there, that are just set up and there's just like a sandbag holding it down. I don't want to be the one out of.
Yeah, it's crazy because you can see, like, I saw this recently on the freeway. one of the big ass trucks just carrying the carnival rides
Right.
like down the freeway, and I'm like, oh
Mhm.
shit, this shit look rusty as
They
fuck.
set it up for one weekend. There was another video that went viral of a carnival where it was like it wasn't bolted down properly, so it was coming up. So people had to like come together and
Oh
weigh
yes,
it down. Yeah,
I remember seeing that.
Yeah, I'm good.
Carnival rides just ain't it. They make me nauseous too. Like I don't.
It being there for a weekend is insanely like concerning.
Do you remember that ride that would take you up in the air and it would just flip you upside down just while you're in the air?
Mm-mm.
I took my sister on that ride when she was little. When I tell you, oh my God, like I was so fucked up. I was so nauseous afterwards. I think I didn't throw up, but I was super duper nauseous. And she was like, let's ride it again. And I was like, girl.
Damn, you throw up?
No, I didn't ride it again. And I didn't throw up. But I was just like, this can't be up to any type of code or standard. Like,
Yeah.
all the adults was just like, ugh, and the kids were like, oh, yay, let's do this again. And I'm like,
I'm not really a thrill seeker. I do like rides. I feel like I've done a lot of roller coasters that I thought I would never
Yeah,
do.
me too.
But I'm not the person that's just like, oh, the X50 just came out. I gotta go. You hang from your dick and do 20 loops in a row. Like, I don't have to do like the super crazy ones.
Did you see that AI video? They do AI video of a roller coaster simulator that like takes you underwater. It has like 3 like little just the
Like
track goes underwater.
They're planning on doing that.
I don't know if they're actually planning on doing it. I saw a video and I was like, this is horrifying. Like
That's
to take
crazy.
you underwater where you actually like get wet.
Oh, you're in the water.
Yes.
You're not like it's not like a tunnel.
No.
Like a clear tunnel.
No, you go
Oh, so
under
it
and
can
come
break
up.
down under there. Yeah, no.
Absolutely not. That was the first thing I thought of. I was like, this concept can never, ever come to life because
you'd be
if it
surprised.
breaks underwater, that's your ass.
They're doing a water park at Lake Lanier. I heard that was happening. So niggas
I
ain't
mean, you just asking
niggas
for it
ain't
at that
scared to kill their customers.
point.
All right, well, that was
Okay.
the last one in the thread.
Yeah.
All right, well, we went a lot of places: amusement parks, limbo. Let us know what animal you would be
Mm-hmm.
if you were reincarnated.
Mhm.
I'm a stargazer. Life goes on. I need all my babies.
Yeah, yeah.
Woke up looking for the broccoli. Sorry. What animal would you be if you were reincarnated?
Mhm.
And what's your favorite roller coaster?
No.
I don't know what.
Hey, will you ride a roller coaster after seeing this segment?
I don't think we scared anybody.
You don't think so?
A lot of those were like super old, right? Like in the 80s.
They were,
would
but
think
I
that was
think people
happening
who
every
are
day.
already on the fence about it and their friends are trying to get them like, hey, let's go. If they saw this episode, they might be like, I think I'm good. I still like roller coasters.
Because you know who else was on the fence?
Who?
That kid
Humpty
who jumped
Dumpty.
into the...
Oh. He was on the wall.
All right, guys. Well, we'll see you guys next week. Bye.